So I wanted to talk a little bit about our decisions that we make and the energy that we put out and how we will always pay for those decisions, why we have to live with those decisions, whether they're good or whether they're bad. And I always tell this in one of my favorite stories that I first heard from Les Brown and from Eric Thomas, and it starts like this. So there's this famous architect, and he has left this incredible, insane legacy where he's the go-to guy to get anything built, whether it's a skyscraper or a cathedral or, a wealthy, uber-rich person's house, right? He's the guy you go to if you want something that's going to attract everybody's eye, that will eventually, people from all over the world will come to look at, right? He's this guy. So he has this understudy, right? And he decides he's been in the business long enough. He's left his legacy. He's got one more project to do, but it's time for him to retire. So he turns to his understudy and he says, I'm going away for a year. I'm going to finish my last final piece, right? This is going to be the grand piece that everyone will definitely remember me for. And while I'm gone, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to build me a house that is worthy for someone of my legacy to spend the rest of my days in, because like I said, I'm going to retire. Now this is going to be different than anything you've ever done before, because I'm not going to be there to help consult you, or I'm not going to be there to help you. I'm not going to be there at any point during this, right? This is solely on you. And remember, money's not an object, right? He's like, you can do whatever you want to do, right? Make it a house that is worthy for me to spend the rest of my days in. And see, the understudy is like chomping at the bit. He's super excited about this because he's been underneath his mentor, right? He's been watching his mentor for years and learning, and he's so ready to have the opportunity to make his mark now. And so the guy goes away, the mentor goes away, and he begins working on the house. He's showing up early, he's getting the best material, right? He's hiring people, he's staying late, he's drawing up these grand plans, and this goes on for a couple days, a couple weeks, and then months start to go by. And it changes a little. He ends up showing up a little bit late. He ends up starting to give tasks to other people that he knows he needs to be handling himself. He starts cutting corners. He starts not always buying the best materials for whatever reason, right? He stops making sure that everyone's doing the job that they need to be doing. He starts leaving the work site early. He basically stops going at 100%, 110% at this thing. And a year goes by way quicker than he probably ever thought. And then he's standing there in front of this house the day before his mentor comes home, and he's a little nervous, right? It's a great house, right? It's beautiful, but he doesn't know if it's quite the thing that someone of his mentor's stature would be proud of or excited to live in. And so his mentor comes the next day, and he's giving him the grand tour, and right, he's sweating bullets because he knows right in his gut he didn't do everything that he possibly could have. And at the end of the day, they're standing in the entryway of the house, and the mentor is kind of just, hanging out. And the understudy can't read his face. But then he does something odd, and the mentor takes out the keys from his pocket, and he says, here, take the keys. And the understudy kind of shakes his head and is like, what? And he goes, go ahead, take the keys. Here you go. And he goes to reach for it, and he says, take the keys. And he goes, yeah. The mentor shoves the keys in his hand, and so the understudy is holding the keys, and he goes, what? And the mentor says, see, there's something that you don't understand. I was so excited to have you all these years. You were so amazing, but this house was never my house. He said, what you don't understand was that this whole entire time, I was going to give you this house. This was the house that you built, that you deserved, right? And see, you built this. You built this thing. And now you must live in it. And the understudy, that knot in his stomach, man, it's just churning because he knows. He's counting all the ways that he cut corners. All the ways that he didn't do the things that he knew he could have, right? Or spent the money that he should have on certain materials. And now he has to live in this house that he built. And see, every single day, we are the product of our decisions. We are the product of our energy output, the things that we put out into the world. And every day we have to live in those decisions. And though this seems like all out there, right? It comes down to nutrition. It comes down to fitness. It also comes down to any aspect in your life, right? What decisions are you making today? They might seem small. They might seem insignificant. You might be cutting a little bit of a corner or stopping doing something that you know you should be doing. But eventually you're going to be the end product of that decision. So do you want that end product to be something that you're proud of, something that you're excited to be living in, or something that you could have done a little bit better? And many of us might be at that point right now, right? Ready to make a change, ready to make the next end product the best product yet. And I want to inspire you to continue to do that, right? It's not always easy. It's not always fun. Sometimes you don't feel like it. But if every day you just make one small change, one small thing, you try to do the best that you can, right? It'll eventually happen, and you'll eventually be proud of that end product, because time will pass either way and you will be living in that no matter what you do. So choose wisely, right? Try and put out the best that you possibly can. Forget the rest and keep moving forward. So hopefully that inspires you to kick some butt today, and I'll talk to you soon.